Now, to officially begin our conference, it is my pleasure to introduce NDDOT Director Ron Henke. Director Henke joined the NDDOT in 1990. He has served as Deputy Director of Engineering, Office of Operations Director, Office of Project Development Director, and Assistant Engineer for Planning and Programming. In addition, he worked in Design and Construction divisions before becoming the Director of the NDDOT in October 2022. He has been a dedicated leader in advancing North Dakota's transportation infrastructure. So please join me in welcoming Director Henke to the stage. There you are. We'll ignore the 5-minute break.
Thanks. Oh, thanks, Paul. And the lights are bright up here. Welcome, everybody, and good morning. This is our 4th transportation conference that the DOT has put on in this format. And we have a great conference planned for you. And like Paul said, it's all about building relationships and learning something and bringing a group of people together that make transportation work in North Dakota. So I'd like to start out with a thank you. A thank you to all of you for making it your priority to come to this conference. And I also would like to challenge you to learn something new and build a new relationship or make a new contact. And if you don't, at least maybe reconnect with somebody that you maybe haven't seen in the past. For me, it's one of my old employees, one of my coworkers in the Fargo district. I got a time to chat with Dwayne Carlstrom a little bit this morning, and it seems like we only get to see each other twice a year, once at this conference and once when I get out to the Fargo district for the safety meetings. But the power of collaboration and relationship building is so important in our industry because the people that use our transportation system, they don't care about the boundaries. They don't care if it's a state highway. They don't care if it's a county road, a city street. They look at it as a transportation system that touches everybody's life in North Dakota, whether you're taking kids to school, trying to get to work, maybe hauling a commodity from your farm to the elevator. They just need a system that works, that allows them to move around. So it's with that big transportation system that we decided a few years back to throw out put more emphasis on building a connected system. And you'll hear us at legislation hearings and stuff where we tell about building a transportation system that is connected so that if you're hauling something, you don't go partway down the road and then you come to a dead end because there's a different weight limit on the road, or there's a bridge that you can't travel over because the condition of it. And we've been working hard to try to push that concept forward. That's why we started a fund, if you ever heard about it, called the Flex Fund. So we as the DOT can get off the state system to help the locals out. You know, transportation and conferences like this don't just happen. So I'd like to take a moment and say thank you to all our sponsors. Thank you to all those vendors that are setting up booths where you can all learn from. And thank you to Upper Great Plains Transportation Institute. They've been our connection to get this thing going. And to our planning committee. And I was going to call Patty Wynn up here because she said to make sure I thank Patty Wynn. But if you could all put a round of applause together for them, I think you'll have a great conference. So, one last thing, or a couple of things I want to say is, Paul touched on it, safety. Safety has always been a priority at the DOT. I would say we moved it up a notch. We call it one of our core values now. Whether it's what you're designing to make sure it's safe, whether you're the person in the field administering it to make sure it gets built the way it's supposed to be, whether you're the contractor building it, a consultant out there overseeing the project, safety has always been one of our core values. And we know that work zones have exposed people to some risk, right? Because you're out there next to the traveling public. They're just trying to get through the work zone. We put up traffic control sometimes maybe a little confusing. Otherwise, they're just look at us as they're slowing me down. Why can't I go faster? So that is why we are testifying. There's a bill in the legislative session this year to raise the fine through the work zones. And we're testifying in support of that bill. It would take the fine from $80 to $150 in the work zone. I think the AGC has been there to support with us and many of our other partners. So as safety is the utmost important, because we want to make sure that all of you, all the traveling public, can get home every night after their workday. It's through collaboration that we can build a better safety network. It's the most important thing that we can work on. I know there's a great conference planned. I know there's a great venue. We added the asphalt industry in its own track this year. I hope you enjoy your conference. Please try to take advantage of building a new relationship or learning something new. So thank you and enjoy your conference.